Hi guys, if you're like me and you just cannot get the hang of a blowout with a traditional round brush and a blow dryer, or you've tried rollers, or you've tried all these different techniques out there that are supposed to make it easier for you to do a blowout, and you just simply can't get it, I think I may have found a solution. So for years I've struggled with how to add volume to my hair. For a really long time I've had very long hair, and most recently, maybe about 6 months ago, I went for a dramatic A-line bob, a very short A-line bob. And I was finding that just flat ironing it just wasn't cutting it for me. It was too flat. Even if you do a faux blowout with a flat iron, it's still going to end up falling by the end of the day. I YouTubed, I Googled, I Pinterest, I did it all trying to find the perfect solution for this, and I just could not find something that worked for me. So luckily, I was shopping, I was at Target, and I came across a wonderful product. This is the Conair Infinity Pro. So let me zoom you guys in. This is the Conair Infinity Pro, and it's basically a rotating brush that blows out air. So it's basically a blowout all in one. So I thought to myself, oh my gosh, my prayers have been answered. This is the perfect tool for me. And so I used it by itself on damp hair right out of the shower, and it disappointed. It did not do what I thought it was going to do. So I just kind of thought about it, and I put it in a drawer for a really long time and never really did anything with it. And then I just kept thinking to myself, this is basically a Revo styler with hot air. Didn't do much. So then I thought, what if I take traditional blow dryer like this one and do it like a blowout, except my brush is doing all the work instead of my hand. So the round brush is already rotating and it's blowing out air, and the blow dryer is going to blow out some more. Perfect. Make sure that it has this attachment on here. Mine is the Revlon 1875 Ionic blow dryer. Pretty sure this thing was like 10 or 15 bucks at Target, and I've had it for years and it's great. It's got high, medium, low settings and a cool setting. And so with these two together, I think that my prayers were definitely answered. So just to show you how this works, there are two buttons, one here, and one makes the brush rotate one way and the other makes the brush rotate another way. This too has settings. It's got low, high, and cool. I usually use the high setting, and it blows out again hot air and it rotates. Sometimes it's hard to sort of orient yourself to figure out which way the brush needs to go, but I think you'll get the hang of it as you do it more. I'm not sure how much this cost me, so I'll link it down below and I'll figure it out for you guys. I'm going to turn it on so that you guys can see how it works, but you probably won't be able to hear me, so I won't talk. I hope you enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed making it, and I hope that it helps you with the perfect blowout. If you have any questions, feel free to just comment down below, and make sure to subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much.
Okay, so here I'm starting out by prepping my damp hair, and I'm putting in some of that Garnier Tease Voluptuous blowout treatment. It's supposed to be for visibly fuller, thicker blowouts. Now I'm applying some Tresemme heat protectant on my hair. Just want to kind of rub it in, massage it into your hair. Then you want to section your hair off. Depending on what your preference is, I think starting out, you might be best off sectioning off smaller chunks of your hair. Okay, so here's the tricky part. You put the rotating brush under your hair and just let it go. But again, earlier I talked about that difficulty in orienting and figuring out what direction the brush should go in. You'll immediately figure it out if you're going in the wrong direction. What I really like about this brush is that it doesn't tangle your hair a whole lot. So I have it on the highest heat setting, so it doesn't take a whole lot or a whole lot of time to dry your hair. You want to try to get the blow dryer under your hair and pull the brush upwards to create lift and volume. Sorry, these angles are pretty bad. I was trying to figure out how to record the back for you guys, but you'll be able to see. So you take down your hair and section it off again, and this time you're going to section it off a little bit more to get that center piece, and you're just going to repeat the same step. Don't worry if some of that hair falls off because you'll catch it when you section it off again. So here I am pulling it upward, and I'm going to dry it from the bottom with the blow dryer. So I'm just creating that lift and that volume by pulling it forward. You also want to make sure that you blow dry the top part of it so that you don't end up with damp hair, because again, if you have curly hair, you'll end up with waves. So it kind of defeats the purpose of a straight blowout. Since I took a larger piece of or chunk of hair rather here, it's taking a little bit longer to dry, but you get the gist of it. So here I just section off the other side of my hair and rotate that brush in while I blow dry, again pulling up to create that lift. If it looks a little crazy like a bird's nest back here, it's okay. Once you kind of run your fingers through it, it'll settle. Your arms will probably get tired. There is a whole lot of repetition, but it's definitely less tiring than using a traditional round brush and sort of rotating it on your own. Okay, sectioning it off again, lots of repetition here, but you're just going to separate, take a chunk of hair, and then you're going to blow dry that chunk of hair, and then section it off again, blow dry, so on and so forth. Don't mind my roots. My hairstylist is on maternity leave, so I'll just have to stick it out for a little bit. Also, this is a great style for those of you who have highlights or balayage highlights or ombre in your hair, because you really get to see that dimension and that texture in your hair. It's really great. So you can start to see that volume build at the crown of your head. Okay, just about done with the back side, so now I turn around so you can see the front side and just kind of brush it out a little bit, get rid of some of those tangles. And as you can see toward the front of my face, it's not super straight, just because the hair begins to dry, so no worries, we'll get to that. You want to do the same thing here and kind of pull the brush away from your face and then pull it up to, again, continue to create that volume. And as you bring that dryer down, you want to bring it down toward your face to create that sort of that inward curl, if you will. creates that inward curl I was talking about. Now, I actually don't prefer that, and I don't keep it, and you'll see that at the end, but I do that just in case somebody does prefer that, and you can definitely just have it come right in so it can frame your face. Depending on how you do your bangs, you want to separate what would be your bangs and wait to do that as the last step. Again, lifting up to create that volume. Now with your bangs, you want to do this a little bit differently. You want to curl out so that the bangs swing away from your face, just like that. Now that's completely optional, but that's just the way that I prefer to do my bangs, and I feel like it creates more lift and volume that way.
Oh man. Okay. So this is kind of the finished product after you're done blow drying it, but I haven't run my fingers through it or detangled it, so it's a little wild right now, but it's really soft, it's voluminous. You can skip the bangs part, but I have pretty short bangs, so I like to wing them away from my face. Here you go. Give you some turn around so you can see the back. Okay. What I like to do, because I don't like how this kind of goes a certain way, like it either goes this way or it goes in and it's kind of weird. So what I do is I take my bangs and put them to the side so that I don't straighten those. And what I do is I go in with my flat iron, but you want to make sure that you put some heat protectant on before brush it through. So you're only going to want to do it like around here. So you take small sections. I don't do it from the top because I don't want to use that volume. So I just go with my 1-inch flat iron, and I go very lightly on the ends because I just want that really dramatic A-line bob. So I take small sections, and then and it's on, let's see what, it's on like a medium heat setting. It's not all the way. So as you can see, I'm just flat ironing the edges. You don't have to do this. This is completely optional. It's just a look that I prefer. There you go. And then if you feel like it's too blunt, then you can kind of angle it in that way. I'm going to do the same thing on this side. Just flat iron that edge. And if you feel like when you were blow drying the front of your hair and you kind of miss some spots, and if you have curly hair like I do, you'll see some waves in there and you don't want that, feel free to just go through with this. It's just going to get rid of a little bit of that volume. Here you go. Here I got some stragglers. Okay, let's put my bangs down. Okay. All right. can just play with it, you can spray hairspray, you can do whatever you want, but you have a lot, I would say a pretty good amount of volume. What I really like to do, you could tease it in the back, tease it up here, at the crown of your head, wherever you would usually tease your hair. However, I find that teasing your hair kind of leaves you looking like you have a bird's nest here if you don't do it right. So I actually was just introduced to this really awesome product. I'll zoom in here. So it's Garnier Tease's deconstructed texture tease, and it's a dry touch finishing spray. It smells great, much like all of their products. And so what I do here is, so I'm going to comb this back right here at the crown of my head, where I want the, I guess kind of the snooky poof to come up. So what I do is I kind of just section it off, comb through it, my rat tail comb, brush out some of those tangles, and then what I do is shake this up. And then I just kind of rub it in. It's kind of like dry shampoo, and you rub it in the way that you would rub in dry shampoo. There you go. You get a lot of lift from that alone. And it's, the texture is not like dry shampoo. I'm not a fan, if you know me, you know I'm not a fan of dry shampoo. This texture is soft, and it's not cakey the way that dry shampoo is. So I'm also going to want to go in here, which is what I would normally do. Also, you don't see it the way that you see most dry shampoos that kind of go on white, and that's kind of weird. So you just massage it in. There we go. And then this side. There we go. There you go. And this is the finished look. Enjoy!